Welcome to another episode of Strength and Speed. I'm your special host, Michael Stefano from Obstacle Running Adventures, and I'm with Evan for day 4. How are you feeling?
Much better than I did yesterday.
This is kind of the more fun day, I guess you'd say.
Not gonna lie, I was deep in the pain cave yesterday.
It's a natural trail run, but it's probably the craziest, gnarliest 5K race you've ever done in the trail. You actually run up a ravine, you're running up waterfalls, you have ropes to rappel in and out of a gorge. A lot of elevation change on that.
But, you know, with all these ultra events, whether it be, and it's going to be different for every person. For me personally, it's for 24 hours, and for multi-day stuff, I have to lie to myself and tell myself that whatever I'm going through is only temporary, and that I'm going to come out of it, I'm going to be better. And like I said, that's for me for 24 and for multi-day. You know, for other people, it might be a 3-hour event or a 2-hour or 1 hour. It might be a long workout, right? So you got to lie to yourself and tell you it's going to get better. And a lot of times it does. Sometimes it does not. But if you know, wherever you tell your mind to go, your body will typically follow. So I told myself yesterday was a fluke, and I'm going to be better today. And I woke up this morning after honestly not sleeping real well. I was getting up like every hour and a half, and I was hungry, and laying in bed hurt. The temperature outside, I was outside for 11 and a half hours yesterday, and the exposure was messing with my internal thermometer, and I was sweating, and then I was cold, and then I was sweating, right, like back and forth. And I woke up this morning, had a cup of coffee, and I was like, all right, let's do it.
Now, these past 2 days have both been at Newbsanity, but don't be confused, both are very different.
This place is great, really, and there's so much to it. You know, yesterday we were across the street in the ravine, completely different experience than the mud gauntlet side. Today, you know, you got to spend some time on the obstacles if you can, so didn't want to miss that.
I liked Extreme Ravine for the serenity, for the, you know, the flats, but it had a lot of hills, very lower body. How is this different from yesterday?
Oh, just a lot more gradual uphills and downhills, so it was a lot easier on the legs. The big difference was it was a lot harder on the upper body.
Well, it's got all the obstacles. I mean, the ravine course is great, but this is where all the big stuff is. This is where all the fun happens. There, it's just a grind up and down some ravines.
So I don't know how many obstacles were on the course, but there was a fair number. And one of the things I really like about Newbsanity is they have these staggered lanes where they have very hard lanes, kind of a medium lane, and an easy lane.
We call it tried and true, which is the easiest, risk and reward, which is the medium, and then we have the Newbsanity lane, which is usually pretty crazy.
And I tried to do at least the hard lane at least once on every obstacle. Some of them I was more successful than others.
And a boatload of pacers this time.
It is hard during the week. I mean, if it would have been the weekend, we literally could have, you know, supplied with 100 people, because that's approximately how many we get every weekend for training, even now during the wintertime.
Putting out a challenge for anyone else that can have more pacers, I think. Do you know all of their names?
Yeah, let's see. We got Brian returned from yesterday. Jamie returned from yesterday.
I'm Jamie Scott from Smithville Flats.
Mandy returned from yesterday.
Mandy Blackwell. I grew up in the Broome County area.
Tyler returned from yesterday.
Tyler Matichak from Scranton, Pennsylvania.
And then we had, I believe, Kelly.
I'm Kelly Glenn from Binghamton, New York.
This is one of the new ones. And Ryan.
My name's Ryan Brizolar. I'm from Maine, New York, in Binghamton area.
Who I couldn't remember his name yesterday. Yes, he returned, and he's super fast. He's actually faster than Jared on the road. So he's kind of getting into OCR, so I'm really excited to see what he has coming down the season. So I'll be watching out for him on the Newbsanity crew once he gets his obstacle proficiency down. Now,
we know that OCR has a fantastic community in general, but what do you think about the Newbsanity one in particular?
Definitely the culture. There's nothing that touches it. You know, you get the local 5K scene and everybody's kind of friendly and, you know, sort of knows each other's names. But you get here and it's like not a next step, but like 2 or 3 steps above that, where it's just everybody's friends and everybody's so encouraging. And
I think it's the best one in the nation.
The obstacles are fantastic, but it's, you know, the group of people that comes here that really makes it feel like a, you know, family.
To be honest with you, right? I mean, I've lived in a couple different places. I travel around a lot, both racing and doing stuff like this. And just the quality and depth of the crew, I think, is unparalleled.
So how long have you been part of Newbsanity?
since 2014, 2015-ish.
You have beginners to elites, right, which is fairly common for a lot of groups. But you can tell when they were pacing me, you can tell the way they talk to each other.
You are the closest 5 friends that you associate with. It's a product of who you become, and it's really incredible to have a tight-knit group of friends doing all the same thing and having similar goals.
Yeah. Be like, oh, you remember the time this happened? And it'll be like some ridiculous story of them going out at night in some super cold weather and doing some ridiculous challenge.
There are so many crazy people out there that that I need to help, push me in that direction.
And it's just like story after story like that. So you can really tell there's a bond there that you don't really see. And, they meet weekly for training.
If you go to a gym and you're on a treadmill and it's kind of boring and you're getting a workout, but there's not that exhilaration and the fun. You come up here, there's a group of people, you're working to get over obstacles, you're laughing, you're mud, you're carrying things. It puts it just elevates your training to another level.
So I think that creates a good opportunity for people to learn, and especially with a guy like Jared leading everyone.
My name's Jarrett Newby. I'm from Binghamton, New York.
He's top level himself.
That's exactly what I wanted to get to. I mean, a good community is led from the top, right? So it's really interesting to see how one great leader can create such a great community throughout a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it seems like he learned a little bit about that from his father.
My name is Jerry Newby, Binghamton, New York, and I'm the owner of Newbsanity.
Right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't think, did we talk about his trophy room yesterday?
Nope, we're going to get to it now.
Okay. So you may have seen my trophy room I've posted on Instagram a couple times. I've got like one room where I have all my OCR stuff, right? Like my stuff looks Bush League compared to his dad's room. The basement is literally wall to wall, floor to ceiling trophies. And a lot of it's motocross.
I've had my pro license in motocross for 7 years. I still compete in motocross currently I'm number 4 in the world for veterans.
But then a wall of it's specifically for World's Toughest Mudder.
I've done the world's 24-hour Tough Mudder 5 times.
Yeah, including the original, right?
Including the original.
And then, he's adding all these rowing records.
I like to stay active. My most recent thing now is I'm into indoor stationary rowing. Yep. And in fact, in a week and a half, I'm headed to Paris for the World Championships.
I think did we talk about him yesterday?
I believe so.
My brain's, yeah. I think he rode 1,000,000 meters. He's got the world record for that.
And I also have 3 world's ultra-distance world records in indoor rowing, which I've gotten within the last 14 months.
And like 2 or 3 other world records. It's very impressive.
He's still going. I believe he has a championship event coming up soon too, and he's keep going, which is amazing.
Yeah, it really shows that if you're passionate about something, you can go on. The older you get and still be successful and still do well.
Yeah, you spent a solid 10 hours out on the course today. What are some of your favorite obstacles out there?
Every year we try to put, between $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 into obstacles.
I like I think it was called Area 51. It's one where you basically crawl through a tunnel on your back, and then you climb a rope, and then you go across a balance beam with things hanging in your way. So that was a really fun one. There's a pirate one. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's basically a balance beam into a traverse wall, and it's over water. They have a lot of like the standard ones, Tyrolean traverse. They call it shark attack. Monkey bars over water. They had the rip curl, which is their warped wall. And it makes it a little higher stakes when if you fall off the monkey bars or the Tyrolean traverse, you go land on ice, and then the ice breaks, and then you go chest deep in water.
So a lot of them were over frozen ponds. And I had some bad luck yesterday with ice falling through. So the last thing I wanted to do was mess around on stuff over a frozen pond if I wasn't 100% sure I'd be able to complete the obstacle.
Right, so that's...
I approve that.
Yeah, high risk. So that made it give a little more incentive. So I did not fail any of those water ones.
People continue to support what you're doing. How does that make you feel that you have so many people behind you?
I needed some motivation. I figured he could as well. So I was curious to see how far he was into his adventure.
Met Evan yesterday, really kind of struck a chord with what he's doing and why he's doing it, and figured today if he's going to be unsupported, it'd be a great time to kind of pick his brain and really get the details about why and what makes his brain tick, and those kinds of things always are really important to what makes a person work.
I think he's crazy. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's a fun challenge. I'm kind of jealous. Go see all the different courses and everything.
Oh, it's great. It's just phenomenal. I check my Facebook messages in the morning and then in the evening, and then the rest of the day I don't really hear much. But we've been getting a lot of good comments and stuff on Facebook, and I've seen a couple people donate. And again, the donation is for Folds of Honor, scholarship money for children whose parents were killed or wounded in action, which, as a military veteran who's been in the military 15 years, a lot of personal touch there, right? My college roommate died in Iraq in April of 2007. Lost one of my soldiers of March 2006. So luckily that's mostly it for me. And then all the other friends I've lost are guys I work with. It's their family members. So I consider myself fairly fortunate. I know that doesn't sound like that, but if you read my book, there could have been a lot worse close calls.
So words of encouragement are great.
I wish him totally the best. And I mean, the reason he's doing it and to help support our vets and, as among other reasons, is just a cause that I think every American can really kind of get behind. And anything that I can do to help him, even if it's keep a smile on his face for a half an hour, then I'm more than happy to do it.
Do your best. Don't be afraid to try stuff.
Good luck. Keep plugging on. You're doing great.
This is kind of the halfway point of the trip for him. Mileage-wise, he's over that already. I mean, it's just really inspiring. I was trying to do the math in my head and figure out when I'm going to hit his mileage for this week, this year. Yeah. And I'm probably a couple weeks off from getting to where he's at already. So no, he's really incredible. It's a great thing that he's doing for the charity, and just really cool to have him here.
Yeah, it's really inspirational what he's doing.
But also donations are huge. Doing this as a fundraiser, we're having a great time with it, but this is why we're doing it. So any final thoughts on how today went?
No, I was a little more consistent with my fueling. So after yesterday, kind of didn't make that mistake again. So I was happy about that. Again, there was a lot of snow on the ground, so it really made large portions of it unrunnable for me, without expending a lot of energy.
Seems really smart that he went into it with a plan. He said, I'm going to push myself the next 2 days. Not too hard, though. Yeah, just kind of make sure I have enough energy saved up for the last couple days. And then, last day, he's just going to, go all out.
And I don't know, my right foot kind of hurts a little bit, like the muscle going across the top, right, connects like the top of the foot to the ankle, which reminds me of, I feel like I had a similar problem at World's Toughest Mudder 2016 when I ran 90 miles, and I was kind of limping around the next day. But figure you just kind of power through it, and I think I'll be all right.
So what are your thoughts as we go into Pennsylvania now?
Pennsylvania's an unknown course for me. I've never been to Erie OCR Battleground, so I'm looking forward to it. Like I told you at the beginning of the podcast, I sometimes lie to myself to make things easier. So in my head, I'm like, oh, this is a different venue. It's definitely going to be easier. So that's a good lie. On Friday, then we go to Columbus for Movement Lab, Ohio. And I also think that's going to be easier, which may also be a lie. It's supposed to rain. It's supposed to be like freezing rain that day, so that should be fun. And then we got William Shell's kind of private training facility in Missouri after that. And, we only did 20 miles today because we want to get on the road to get to Erie. But, worst comes to worst, we're going to have to pack on some miles on that last day. And it might be a really long day. But, I'm willing to risk it on the last day and sacrifice pretty much all my sleep that last day to hit my mileage goals, versus I don't want to get myself in too deep of a debt now and then, have my performance suffer the next couple days.
All right, so we're officially halfway through. Onward to day 5.
That is exciting. I think we've covered cumulative 110 miles and more obstacles than I care to count at this point, but it was a lot. And feeling good. And any bad days again, or if there's a fluke. That's what I keep telling myself.
Hands down, kudos to him. I mean, to do this day after day after day. I mean, I know how hard these courses are. And for him to not only do it once, but to continue around for an entire marathon, that's crazy. And then to get a few hours of sleep and then get up and do it all again. And then, single digit temperatures. Unbelievable performance by him. So, great job up to now. Good luck for the rest of it. And as I said, my hat's off to him because that's an amazing accomplishment.
See how it goes.